Christian art. What comes to your mind when you hear that word? What comes to mind? The stigma. Hi, how y'all doing? If you're new to the channel, this is Psalmist Scribe here. We're talking about Christian art, like the title says. Getting back to the subject, the stigma. There's a stigma about Christian artwork. And when I say artwork, I'm talking about music, I'm talking about illustrations and dance, and just really anything else that you could think of that we would classify as art. But when we talk about Christian art, there's a stigma that is cheesy, it's bad, it's corny, it's childish, it's a knockoff of a real thing. And it's not real art, and it's certainly not relevant art, or not relevant to the world we live in today. And when I started this channel, a lot of it was to promote Christian hip-hop. And the channel started to grow and be more diverse as I started looking at other kind of art forms that Christians are doing, and it's when someone is doing something of excellence, and when you're trying to uplift God, or maybe you're just trying to bring something really good to the table, I think it should be brought to the forefront, and that's what I hope to do with this channel. So sometimes the stigma is true. When you think of our art as typical, when you think of our art, you rarely even think about Christian art as being Christian art anymore. I mean, if you do the research, I think Christians didn't even really start producing art until 100 AD. I believe that it was due because Christianity was still considered a poor man's religion. It was just pretty much only the lower class, kind of converted to Christianity, which is kind of inspiring to me. But after that, I believe 100 or 300 AD, it became legalized. Persecution kind of slowed things down. So obviously, you're probably not going to make beautiful works of art if you're going to be persecuted for it. But once we did get the freedom, we created beautiful masterpieces, mosaics. There's catacombs where Christian burials, and we made sculptures and paintings and things that stood the test of time. And we kind of take it for granted that art, I believe, is a gift from God. He gave us creatives that ability and just how we see things and how we create things. And for Christians, it was kind of a privilege to use the gift that God gave us. And when you think about it, it was suppressed for so long, and when we finally got a chance to do art, and you think about being a creative and an artist, but at the same point, it being illegal to share your passions because your passions are counterculture. Jesus was very counterculture. Jesus' teaching was very counterculture to the Roman Empire and various groups around them. Jesus was very counterculture, and Christianity was just pretty much against a lot of pagan religions that were around at the time. But now, especially in the Western world, we really don't have much excuse. Art is a lot more celebrated, and there's liberty. You can pretty much say and do anything you want, and people are willing to pay for it, people are willing to look at it, and this is just a good time. Art has never been more respected, I believe, right now, but at the same time, I think it's very saturated, and there's a lot of discontent between the church and the arts. So the importance of art, as it relates to our culture, is very important. Often art just kind of captures our beliefs, our values, what we treasure into almost one thing. If that is even possible, probably not, but you could trap like our culture in a painting, or just some beautiful text, some words. I consider writing an art form, which is what I am, and poetry. A lot of things that stands the test of time. When the cities fall, when they burn, and the laws are wiped out, and there's mass murder, a lot of times the artwork will still stand the test of time. That's carried off, and that stays with us. Christian art should be the most influential of all arts. That our art should be influencing the culture around us. Art is just also very powerful. Often it penetrates the heart, gives right to the emotions, while bypassing our kind of linear thinking. How many times do you hear a song and you just can't get out your head? There's one song, I'm not gonna say it because I do not want to be stuck in your head like it's stuck in mine, but for years I heard it and I don't even like the song. I don't like the lyrics, but the beat is just that kind of beat that you hear it and it's just stuck in your head, and it took months, not years, for me to get that tune out of my head, and even now it's trying to come back. But that is the power of music. That is the power of a lot of art forms. It stays with you, and you think about that. And but if you can imagine, if you could put the gospel into that kind of art and just get that stuck in someone's heart, how powerful is that? Think about it. And I might have to make a video about the responsibility as artists we have, to the people. But often our art is not even seen as art. That is more gimmicky, and we just plaster it on things. We put a cross on some things, and it's art. I'm not knocking that. I have many apparel with Christian logos and crosses on it. That is not what I'm saying. But sometimes we don't take seriously enough. But sometimes I think that we could just do better. That while that stuff is okay and good, I think that there is a level of excellence that we kind of deny, or that we start reaching toward, because we stopped. Maybe either we stopped or we're just not listening to. And if it's the latter, then I hope to find artists like this, and I found a few, and I hope to kind of bring it to the forefront here. That's what I gotta say. Tell me what you think. Is the stigma true? Is Christian art bad? Or do we not even have art anymore? Have we abandoned that? Like this video if you like it, subscribe if you want. This is Summer Scribe. P.S. It's gonna be good. Take care and God bless.